Now we're going to go down to tricep extensions. So it's the same concept, but like I said, there's little adjustments that'll make a big difference in your body. With a tricep extension, you want to keep your elbows back. You want to go all the way down, lock it out, and squeeze. But when you come up, if I don't keep my elbows back, if I bring them forward, well, I'm not working anything now. I'm just resting. And I see this all the time, right? Like you feel the burn because you're getting lactic acid in your muscles. But guess what? You're not really tearing them down, which is what we want to do by stretching that muscle and then contracting that muscle. If I do this, look, there's no bend in my arm, right? Like, do you see how, like if I keep my elbows back, see how much bend I have in my arm? If I bring them forward, even though I feel the burn because I'm flexing it, this is how much bend I get in my arm. And so if my arm was a rubber band and I wanted to wear that band out and get micro tears in it, I would have to bend it, straighten it, stretch it, squeeze it, stretch it, right? So you want to make sure you keep your elbows back, get a good stretch, and then lock it out. Another thing, this is the main thing that I see wrong, but I guarantee 80% of people in here. These handles, they could move. And as you go through your set, they end up doing this, okay? They end up moving like this. See how they're going in like this? Because you're pushing on the outsides, and they start moving, and by the end of the set, you're doing this, which is just a totally different exercise. So what you want to do is, if they do move, it just takes 2 seconds. Straighten them back out, okay? Because now you're able to squeeze out and stretch. When they do this, you usually lose tension, and you can't press with your pinky as hard as you can with the palm of your hand. Like I have a lot more power going down this way than if I'm trying to go down this way, because I'm using the side of my hand, and it's not a powerful position, and it's really uncomfortable. So if you do notice these aren't straight, as soon as they do that, just go, whoop, just turn them, and they'll go straight. It's very easy to do, but most people just aren't aware to do that, okay? So the same thing goes with the tricep overhead extension. I see a lot of people using way too much weight and just kind of doing this, all right? And again, I want to stretch my triceps as low as I can, tear the muscle, and then squeeze. So I want to tear it, and then squeeze, okay? So anything to do with arms, you want to think about stretching and squeezing. So they're just two basic things, and they're easy things, but it's something that every time I'll look at any station, I'll see at least 2 or 3 people that need to correct that. And it's hard in the middle of a workout to explain what we mean. We'll just quickly correct, elbows back, do this, but now that you're learning it in a different environment, it's easy for it to stick. So for tricep extensions, you want to demo this one? It's the same thing. You want to get the full stretch. So if I'm going to get a full stretch on TRX extensions, I want to go all the way to the back of my neck, as far as I could go. I want to feel that stretch as far as I could go, and then squeeze it. Now, if you're not aiming low and your elbows start coming up high, see how I'm not bending my elbows that much, or how he's not bending his elbows? You can't if your elbows are up here. So you have to keep your elbows down low enough that you can bend them. Does that make sense? So when you start going up high, yeah, you'll feel the burn, but it's like a false burn. It's just like if I were to just flex my tricep, it's going to start burning, but I'm not really going to build anything. I'm not going to change my body. So you want to keep your elbows down low so that you could actually you want this angle to be as small as possible, all right, in your arms. So just be aware of that, keeping things down low so that you could bend them as much as possible. Same with TRX curls. So when you turn around, Daniel loves this because he's getting a pump right now. He's so happy right now. You just see his face. So when you do a curl, the same thing. You want to keep your elbows up high, and you want to go all the way to your shoulders if you can, as close to your shoulders as possible. You also want to extend and stretch your arms as much as possible. So if you're just doing curls and you're just doing this, then you're not getting that full range of motion. So you want to stretch, squeeze, and lift your shoulders up. All right, so now we'll switch to TRX pulls. When we do pulls, if your thumbs are down, what you want to do, you want to get the maximum squeeze that you possibly can. And what we found is by touching your thumbs to your ears, it forces you to squeeze your shoulder blades. So you're going to keep your elbows up as high as possible. If we tell you elbows up, palms down, you're going to touch your ears with your thumbs. One of the things that I see happen, let me grab it for a second, that I see wrong, that a big problem, is arching your back. So if there's slack, anytime you do TRX, there should never be slack. So for instance, if I do curls, If I go too fast or if I arch my back, watch what happens. If I go too fast, slack. So now I'm taking the tension off the muscle. I want constant tension. It's called time under tension. You want the most time under tension in a workout that you can. And if I'm doing this, then half the workout, I'm not doing anything. So same with pulls, or same if I arch my back, I'm gonna have slack as well. Same with these. If I go super fast, which I see a lot, then there's gonna be slack in this. So I wanna go at a speed that keeps constant tension the entire time, which means I have to keep my butt out and my back perfectly straight, okay? So just remember, when you're doing this stuff, there should be no slack in these TRXs whatsoever.